water from the house drains into 2 tanks. This is tank number 1. So the goodness with this tank is that it's also close to the cow shed. So once the water up there, the water from the store runs out, the workers can use the water from this tank to water the animals. So that one, this one serves both ourselves and the animals. The water up there serves just the animals. Now that is the house. Don't mind it. Still incomplete. Still incomplete. Construction ongoing. That is our house. Then now here we have another tank. So water from the house drains into 2 tanks. This one is the other tank. Now this tank now only serves us. Just serves us anytime we come for cleaning, for washing and all those things. So those are 30,000 liters of water. And the goodness with this place is that it rains. The rains are quite reliable. When it has to rain, it rains, and it rains well. So we've never run out of water. Despite the challenges with the village politics and what, when we stopped using that water, we've never run out of water. Anytime we think we are going to run out of water, it rains and the tanks are refilled. So call it God's doing, call it whatever, but I think it's God's doing because he just cannot disappoint you. So far we've never run out of water and had our animals going without water. So you can see from the home, as you look up there, those are the trees, and in the morning you listen to the birds and the swishing of the trees in the wind. Beautiful sounds. That is our house. Like I told you, it's still a work in progress, construction ongoing. Yeah, but we are living in it. So this side, now when we started this farm also, this is a very funny story. We started rearing goats. Actually, that was the very first project just after we bought this land. We bought the land and we saw that it had a lot of vegetation. So we got someone and decided to buy goats. Now when we bought the goats, we were buying them when they were very young. So we were buying a kid. The baby of a goat is called a kid. I think so, a kid. So we were buying the kids at 2,000 bob. So we had this bright idea that we buy the kids and then we rear them, they grow. Then once they grow, we sell them maybe at 5,000 or 6,000, whatever the price. So we constructed a shed here for the goats, and we bought around 100 kids and brought them here. Then there was a guy, we built for him like a place here where he would stay. So he would stay here, but this place was so bushy. All those trees were not there. It was just the bush, very thick bush. So he started staying here and he was looking after the goats. There was a lot of feed for the goats, but you know what, all the 100 goats disappeared. Up to this day we don't know where those goats went. They just disappeared. Anyway, it is a funny story. So this shed has been here, but now we are destroying it. I think this wire, I'll use it to repair my fencing. There are parts of my fences that are fallen. Then also I'll use those posts for firewood or something. Just firewood. So down here, so that was our goat unit. That was our first ever project. We were very young. And I'm just looking to make it in life. We were looking to making it in life. And so we tried the goat thingy. It didn't work. This is where they used to. I think some of them died of diseases like pneumonia and all those other diseases. Others, I think they were just stolen or whatever happened. No one knows. And some of these things you cannot really follow up. You just let it go. So you can see up there our trees. Some of them are very long, and these trees are good. They will give our bees a lot of flowers. So as they flower, the bees are happy. Now this shed, we are destroying it. Now this end of the farm, I want to do kitchen gardens. I will be doing kitchen gardens here, the model kitchen gardens. it will be a section for organic farming. This part, I'll just do organic farming, do nice kitchen gardens where people can come and learn. Actually, this place, our dream is to have a center for farmers, a demo farm, where we'll have a poultry unit, we'll have our dairy unit, we'll have our bees, the apiaries, then we'll have our fruit farming, and we'll have horticulture. So those are the things we are looking at towards doing in this farm. So far you can see the trees are doing well, meaning our bees will be well. You've seen the dairy unit, although it is struggling, it's going to be well. You've seen the our water harvesting, of course, for the home and whatever. I'll show you other plants that we have put in place for water. Then this place will be kitchen gardens, organic farming, and what have you. That is what will be on this space. You can see it's quite a large space, so it will be enough for my kitchen gardens. Just nice demo farms. Then this side, you've seen we've done a lot of grevillea. That is grevillea tree. So we did this because first of all, to shield our home from the rest of the village, and also to wind breakers, to break the wind, so that we don't have a lot of wind getting into the house. So you can see the house is up here, then we've planted these trees. So what we are looking towards doing, you can see this place, it's like a slope. From the house, we had to do leveling for us to build the house. There was a lot of leveling of the ground because we are going uphill. So we did a lot of leveling of the ground. So you can see, although the ground was leveled, this part is still a slope. This part is still a slope. I hope you guys can see. So it is still a slope until the point where we've planted our grevillea trees. So what we are looking towards doing is to do a wall of sorts, like a gabion, from that end where the trees start right to that other end. And once we do a gabion that will be reached to the same level with the foundation of the house, then we'll do a backfilling. We want to do a backfilling of this space so that we increase the size of the compound. I hope you guys get what I'm saying. But anyway, once that is done, I'll show you on this channel. So we'll do a backfilling of this area so that we have the compound extends. We make use of this space that is a slope. You see, right now this space cannot be used in any way, but once it is leveled by building a gabion just after the trees here, and then filling up as we do the leveling of this side, whatever soil and whatever comes from this side will be used to backfill this place so that it is level. We have a compound that is flat all the way through, and then that end now we'll have the gardens. So once that is done, I think I'll have the luxury of space for the homestead, and also it will just look good. I'll have space to do the small fruit trees. I'll have space to do my flowers. I'll have space for all that. But those are plans, future plans if all goes well. So that is the plan for that side. I'm coming from that side, going past the house again. You can see the grevillea has done well here, and it's provided a lot of shade. And the goodness with grevillea is that you can prune over and over again, get firewood, and it just regenerates. That's what I love about this tree. You can prune it and it regenerates. Now, another part of the farm, I'm introducing you to this machine. Now this baby. So I introduce you to this baby. She's been with us now for, I think, a year and a half. So the one thing that we learned is that, first of all, our farm is kind of big. Our farm is big. You can see all the way down there is our farm. So cultivating that farm using animals is not easy. First of all, there are no animals in this place. I told you this place is ridden with flies, so trypanosomiasis is an issue. Once the animals are sick, you cannot plow. So most people used to plow with animals, but now with the loss of animals, plowing becomes a little bit difficult. Another thing is we started depending on, you cannot use human beings to plow such a huge area, especially when you are racing against time. You want to do your planting and what have you. You can see the farms are down there, so our home is uphill and the farms are down there. You can see maize on the farms. There's maize on the farms, but our farm is this one here that doesn't have maize, but I'll take you guys there. This farm here that doesn't have maize, you can see, but there's something that is growing there. I'll show you guys. There's something that is growing there, but not maize. So we would depend on these guys who come seasonally to do ploughing. There are guys who come from Narok, Bomet, and all those other high potential areas. So when the ploughing season comes, they come here with their tractors and they do the ploughing for guys at around 2,500 to 3,000 Kenya shillings per acre. So we would have a lot of trouble getting these guys. As a family, you know, our brothers and ourselves, we are majorly farmers. So getting these guys, sometimes you would delay in your ploughing, meaning you will lose some time. So we decided, why don't we also venture into that market? So we got this girl. So this girl, we got her from CMC Motors in Nairobi, and she has served us well. So we got the tractor itself, and the plow we bought from somewhere in Nakuru. Someone hooked us up with someone in Nakuru for the plow, because the plows at CMC were a bit costly. So we got the baby at CMC Motors. She's a 4-wheeler TT55, and she has served us well. She has served us well and served our family members, extended family well, and also the village, and we've gotten some income from her. So we got her, then we got the plow from Nakuru. Someone hooked us up with some guys in Nakuru who sold us the plow. So we brought her here and she started working. So right now our plowing is not an issue. When we need to plow, we just need to now the challenge is the driver. From the time we got her, we've had around two or three drivers. They come, they work well, and then suddenly something just happens and someone decides they don't want to concentrate on their work anymore. One of them ran away with someone's wife. One of them, I don't know, just many things, village stuff, things that happen in the village. Anyway, so we got the tractor. So right now our plowing is not an issue. When we want to plow, we can plow. Then after we got her, we realized after plowing, she's idle now. She's not working anymore. So we decided maybe she can also be used for ferrying stuff. When someone is building, they need sand, they need whatever, we can use her for ferrying stuff. So we were hooked up with someone else who was selling this guy here. So we bought this guy from someone else just around this area, somewhere like how many kilometers from here? Something like 80 kilometers from here. Someone was selling this, so we bought her. Right now she's not doing well. Is it a he or she? Let me call him a he. So we bought him somewhere like 80 kilometers from here. We just went and got it and brought it here. Right now it's not doing very well because the tires are gone. She needs new tires, but we don't want to do new tires until we really need to use it. So right now it's still there. It's a good thing, but only the wheels need some work. This girl is okay. She's just waiting for the seasons to come. I'm sure come February, March, she will be busy. This is January. The farms are still full of maize. So come February, March, she will start getting busy. So right now what we do, we have a casual who serves as our driver. So he comes in only when there is work to be done. So you can see that is the upper portion of the farm. So the upper portion of the farm reaches up to these grevillea trees. So the other end, I told you I'll do my organic farming. Those are kitchen gardens. Then that will be the home. That is the home. Then up there, of course, the trees and the apiaries. That side I have the dairy unit, and possibly behind the dairy unit I'll have my poultry unit in that store, once I get a place to build a barn. Now the plans are to build a shed here for our machinery. So this tractor and everything else, we'll do a shed, a big shed over here, so that they are not exposed to the elements. Right now they just stay outside, but we'll do a shed this side. You see, just after those languat trees, I planted some languat fruits and they are doing well. So after these languat trees, we'll do a shed here where we'll be putting, it will be a parking for our machinery. So that is the plan. So the whole of this area. Then up here, maybe we'll do a store and an office, a classroom, and a store. That is the plan for this space. Just after the tank, after that tank, this space here, we'll do 3 rooms, or 4 rooms. One will be a dairy, where we put the dairy things. The next one will be an office. The next one will be a classroom, and at the end of it will be a store. Those will be 4 rooms. That is the plan for this space. Do those 4 rooms: office, dairy room, classroom, and a store. Just a general store. So that is it. So that is how it looks. So that is the upper portion of the farm. So far, so good. It has taken us some years to come to this point, but we are still working on it. So after the upper portion of the farm, I'm taking you guys to the lower portion of the farm. Now that is after the grevillea trees. Now the grevillea trees will be our point of reference, because they divide this divide our farm, the home section, and now the farm proper. Now here, this space here, we did mangoes. We did mangoes. Now what happened, I realized that the local mangoes do very well here. In fact, when you come here in December, you can be overfed with mangoes. Guys just bring mangoes. Everyone sends their children with buckets and basins of mangoes. And so I realized mangoes can actually do very well here. But the notion was that commercial mangoes can only be done in Ukambani. Is that the case? So we decided to try these mangoes. So this section is all under mangoes. It's all under mangoes. You can see this side. Those are mango trees, and they're coming up well. There are trees of mango trees here. There's another one there. So we did a good spacing. We did some good spacing so that they just have space to expand. So all those are mangoes. Some of them you can't see, they're still short, but the whole of this area is under mangoes. So we planted the mangoes. The mangoes are here now. Is it 2.5 years? 2.5 years. They should be longer than this, but sometimes the rains fail, and also I think the soil is also not very fertile. So we have done manuring, used the manure from the cow shed to manure our mangoes. So the whole of this area is under mangoes. But now, as the mangoes were growing, we thought, why have the spaces in between the mangoes lying fallow? Yet we can do some napier grass for the animals. So that's why you can see napier grass. Napier grass, some people called it what? Elephant grass. Napier grass or elephant grass is what or in Kikuyu they call it dara. Yes, so that is what we've planted in between the mangoes. So you can see the mangoes, we dug the holes, planted the mango and put the manure, then we planted the mangoes. So we got our mangoes from JKUAT, Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology. We planted 120 trees. We lost 7 trees. So right now we have 113 trees. So you can see the mangoes. Some of them are still struggling, like this one. See this one, still struggling, this space. But some of them, you can see some of them are even flowering. You can see from the distance, some are flowering, some are struggling. But all of them are growing. That's what we are thankful for. And we are sure they will do well. They will do well with time. So you can see this one here, still struggling, but growing all the same. So this section, they are doing much better than up there. See all the mangoes. Here you can see all the trees and they're in rows. So the first row is over there, but that one doesn't look, that one looks like it lost the grafting. Will confirm. So they are grafted mangoes which are growing here. Grafted mangoes, apple mangoes. They called apple mangoes. I can't remember the names exactly, but you can see the trees. They look good. They look very good. They are doing well. Of late they are doing well. They were struggling before, and right now they are doing well. I think they have grown stronger. The roots are now stronger, so the trees are really growing. So that section is for mangoes. We have a row of grevillea trees here that separates the upper section of the mangoes where we have napier grass and the lower section of the mangoes. So what we are looking to do, even here, we'll do napier grass for the animals. We'll do napier grass for the animals, so that even as the mangoes grow and take time to start fruiting, the ground below can be useful for feeding our animals. So that is the mango section. So recently also we decided to start horticulture farming. Now what we did, like I told you, we realized there's a lot of politics with water in this village. Lots of politics with water. Actually, you cannot rely on that community water to do anything meaningful. So we decided we were just going to struggle and sink a borehole. So you can see that is our farm. Can you see the structure? Right there, there's a structure there with solar panels on top. Can you see? So there's a structure there just towards the gate. There's a structure with solar panels on top. So we sank a borehole. And then we installed solar system for pumping the water. So when we did that, it really cost us a lot. I think so far, sinking the borehole and getting the solar system cost us around 2.1 so far. 2.1, yes, 2.1 million Kenya shillings. So once we did that, we thought we need to recover that money, because some of them are loans, some of them are our investments that we liquidated. So we need to recover that money. And what better way to do that than planting a high value crop? So we decided to do horticulture. So that is what we are doing in this section of the farm. You can see the farm right down there from where I'm standing. So up there you can see from where the mangoes stop. The mangoes actually stop here where I'm standing, right where I'm standing. I'm standing next to a mango tree. This is where our mango trees end. But now under this last row, just in between the two last rows of mangoes, we've done spinach. You can see, but this place doesn't look to be very fertile. It needs a lot of manure for it to be fertile. So you can see there's some spinach. In that end we have some sukuma wiki. Sukuma wiki are collard greens, so these are spinach. And then this end we have collard greens. Collard greens is what we call sukuma wiki in Kenya. So they are here. You can see they are growing. So we have them under irrigation. They are under irrigation, but you cannot see irrigation drip lines because those are costly to install. So we could not do all those projects at a go, but somehow we are irrigating these. There's a way they connect pipes. And they also use those cans. So they connect pipes from the borehole to this region, and then they're able to water the plants. It's a lot of work. It's lots of work, but it is what we can manage for now. That is what we can manage for now. So this section up to the end there is under collard greens, that is sukuma wiki. Then this section, now we have cabbages. See cabbages. Now what we did, we've planted them in basins. It's like basin irrigation. When we were in primary, we learnt basin irrigation. Now that is what we are doing it here practically. You can see the cabbages are grown in basins. So you can see different basins. So there's Once the basin is filled with water, and then the plants are watered and they grow. You can see. So the cabbages are growing. They're still very young, but they are growing. So those are our cabbages. Look at that. That is another basin. So the first line over there are collard greens. That is sukuma wiki. At the end we have a little bit of spinach, just a little, because people in this place, I don't think they even consume spinach. So we don't have a lot of spinach. We just did a little spinach, some collard greens, that end, and then cabbages. So we did quite a lot of cabbages because in January, February, March, it's usually generally dry. There is scarcity of vegetables. So people buy cabbages. So that is what we planted, targeting that market. So our cabbages are here. They are doing well. They have not been watered today. Are you seeing? You can see the cabbages, They are growing. Those are cabbages, all the way this way. Have cabbages growing. So all this way is cabbages. Then the other end, now we did onions. Also targeted for the market. So this side is just for horticulture, because now that we have water, it is something that we can do. And I usually believe with your own water, there is nothing you can't do. You can do anything that you feel like doing with your own water. So starting from here, you start seeing the onions. So these ones are still very young, but these are the onions. So we have done the kawaida bulb onions, the red ones, for the market. So this end, they are still very tiny. They haven't been in the field for long. I think it's been a week and a half or 2 weeks since they were transplanted. So they're still very small. But with watering and proper management, they'll be big. So the areas where they were planted earlier, they are looking stronger. Areas where they were planted late, they are not looking very strong, but they will catch up. Let me show you somewhere here where they look like, now they look like real onions. These ones just look like tiny grasses growing. These ones look like tiny grasses growing, but look at this basin. See this basin? Yeah, that is what they are looking like. So we've planted onions down here, cabbages, collard greens, and spinach. Are you seeing that? Those are our onions. They're looking good. So right now what we are doing is weeding. So you just need to pull the weeds. Pull the weeds out. Like I'm pulling the weeds as I go. So those are our onions. So all of them under basin irrigation. So you see, they are planted in tiny basins for ease of watering, and then they can maintain the water. We did this because we were not able to install the drip irrigation system. But once we are financially able, we'll do the drip lines, and then the farming will be easier than using the basins. So we'll do the drip lines with time, but right now work has to go on, production has to happen. We need to recover our monies. And so hopefully, if God agrees, we'll earn something out of here. So you can see the weeds. The onions are there, but the weeds are also struggling. Then another challenge in this place, other than the water and what have you, is weeds. Once it rains, the weeds just grow and they compete. They compete very ably with your crops. So those are our onions. There's a lot of weeding that needs to be done. That is work that we'll be doing the whole of this week. Proper weeding should be done so that the only green that should be seen on this farm should be the green of onions, not the green of any other intruders. So that is our farm. You can see it from up there. From up there, actually our farm doesn't go all the way up the hill. It reaches somewhere in the middle over there. Then you come down, we have our trees. Come down, you have our dairy unit, our home, and the section that I want to do my farm. Then you come down, you find our mangoes. Then you come down to the horticulture section. So that is our farm, and it looks good. And then that other end, now this end, we have a case. Someone has grabbed our land, so that's why this section here just looks like a bush. We cannot use it because it is land under dispute, and because it is under dispute, we cannot use it. So this year, what we plan to do this year is to make an application at the lands office and have this sorted out. Once it's sorted out, we'll be able to fence our portion and leave that guy his portion, and then maybe this side we'll do something with it. So that portion is like that. It lies fallow, but this other end we have our onions. Weeding is happening. There are people weeding, so that is work that we will complete. You can see the solar unit and the shed below it. There's a borehole, there's solar, and there's a shed just for security. So that section, you can see there are weeds, but there are onions too. So there's a lot of weeding work that has to be done. A lot of weeding before these onions can look like they are thriving. But right now, they are all okay. Zimeshika. But now the grass and the weeds, see, all this has to be sorted out. I have to get this grass off. This stubborn grass has to be removed so that the onions do not struggle. But you can see the weeding has started from that end, and it's going on well. Now from that end, now we have more cabbages this side. This side we have more cabbages, and you can see these ones are bigger. They were planted earlier. So the whole of this area is under cabbages. Cabbages. We were doing top dressing this week. So we've done top dressing of the cabbages just to add more nitrogen to the soil. And they were watered also. So those are cabbages. These ones are looking good. Of course, we lost some seedlings, but the ones that are here are looking very, very, very good. You can see cabbages all over, all the way up to that end. Now that end also, you can see the end over there where we have sisal. There's an end there where we have sisal. There's a shed there, a shed made of iron sheets. That shed, that is space for some of our workers. Some of our workers stay there. Now the whole of that region had been grabbed, but that one we've already sorted out. The Ministry of Lands came and they sorted that out. So that area where there is bush, we want to plant oranges. We'll plant some orange trees, that region. That's why we put that house over there, that shed over there, for some of our workers to be staying there for security, just to secure this end of the land. Now, future plans, we need to have water storage, because now we can only pump water when there is sunshine. When there are clouds, it becomes hard to pump water. So that is something we need to look into. Get like storage tanks, have one up the hill there, just beyond the home, so that water comes back by gravity. Then this other end also, we need to have a tank to ensure this region of the land is also served. So that is Nyalore farm. So we are doing dairy, we are doing fruit farming. Started with mangoes, oranges are coming. Then we are doing horticulture. Right now we have onions onions, cabbages, collard greens and spinach for our vegetable farming. For our fruit farming, we have our mangoes. You've seen the mango trees. I think this year, by end of 2023, we'll start harvesting some mangoes. Then we have bee farming. Of course, we already harvested honey. I told you that. We've harvested some kilograms of honey, 10 liters of honey actually. So that is something. So in case you need honey, I can sell to you. Then we are looking towards developing a poultry unit. Now, we want to have a serious poultry unit where we can even be selling day-old chicks. Those are future plans. So that is Nyalore farm. I've reached the end. That is the fence. Going that way, you find the gate. It's just after the gate that you get the borehole and the solar for pumping water. So that is our farm. The onions are here. Weeding is going on. So once the weeding is done, it will look good. So the next time I come here, I'm sure we'll find the onions grown and you'll be able to see the progress of the farm. For now, thank you for watching. Keep it locked to this channel. Subscribe, like and share. Learn something from it. Ask questions and comment. Thank you and bye.